Hi there, I'm Sherry Quam Taylor, and you are listening to the Business Behind Fundraising podcast. Now, today we're talking about what you need to know before you hire your next fundraiser, before you fill that development director position. And I know so many of you are trying to do that right now. It's the amount of resumes I'm sent, or hey, Sherry, do you know somebody? It's a little crazy. Here's what happened. I wanted to tell you guys of a conversation I had. So I was working, or just talking to an organization about working with them, and I had recently submitted a proposal to work with them for 12 months, which is what I typically do. And it was a really great organization. It was a meaty project. I wanted it for a lot of reasons. And just when I thought he was phoning to give me a thumbs up, he called to tell me his development director of 1 year had just given her 2 weeks notice. And so it was like, well, hold on a second. This is kind of changing things because you were going to, coach my board, coach me, and then also coach my development director. And his question, which was a really good one, fair one, I've gotten it often, is like, should I wait to start the work until after I hire a new development director? Because I don't want to waste it. I want to make sure, this person is around to also learn from me and that kind of thing. So my blunt answer is no, absolutely not. Here's why. I knew that after about 3 months of working together, the CEO was going to have a totally different perspective on who their director should even be, what they should be doing, how they should be co-piloting a fully financed organization together. This is the change and the shift that happens in so many of my contracts, to where, after working together, really looking at the problem, at the challenges of why you're not raising enough unrestricted revenue, why you're not reaching or exceeding your goal every year, looking at that from a different angle, it's like, gosh, I think we might have the wrong person on the bus. And there is nothing worse than knowing that you have the wrong person on the bus. The work that I do with my clients helps them think more expansively on what that role should even be. This is why I have a coach too. She helps me think more expansively on where my business could go or the things I could be doing. I desperately need that objectivity. Now, this is important, as I said, because too often the wrong person has been hired for the role. And I say that with compassion, because I am the absolute first one to agree or to affirm that this development director hire is like the hardest hire for an organization, especially when it's a first-time role. Man, we got to get it right. There's a lot riding on this. I hear you. It's a toughie. They really got to be that half left brain, half right brain. They got to be a 360 manager. They got to do so many things, don't they? I hear you. It's not easy. So what I want you to think about is, think in that interview, think when you're sitting there, and you're asking questions. I want you to think about, what are the questions we need to be asking? What are the answers we need to hear? What do I mean by that? Well, I don't always want to hear that your development director can write grants, can design appeals, or plan events. Are those important things? Yeah. Can you hire contractors? Yeah. And perhaps you should. I want to hear that this development director knows the path to fully financing your organization every year. Full stop. What do I mean by this? I want to know that they know how to plan the year around your organization's cash flow. I want to know that they know how to secure mostly unrestricted funds so that you have full flexibility. You need full flexibility to grow. I want to know how they are going to keep funding from being too dependent on things like government grants, foundations, events, all the things. I want to know that they have a plan to exceed the goal every year. A plan to do it. I want to know that they know how to raise a 9 to 12 month reserve. Man, that's gotten bigger these last few years, hasn't it? Used to be 3. Now it's we got to have 9. What if something happens? I don't know, like a global pandemic. And most importantly, maybe, oh no, I think this whole list is important, but I want to know that they know and they've done it, how to secure 50 to 75% of your revenue from your top 30 relationships. Before this organization hires again, and I am working with them, so that's kind of exciting. I'm going to help them find the right person. Before they hire again, they have to shore up all of these core areas that's going to block that. That's going to block all those things I just said. And frankly, these things might be sabotaging the success of that person in that position. And so oftentimes we have to start at the root. We have to look at the business behind the fundraising and say, what is blocking revenue generation? And what is going to keep that future staff member from attracting investment level donors who give in this way, who give unrestricted, who give large gifts? These are the root things we have to fix first before my new client is going to hire again, right? Your plans. Do your donors know your larger strategic objectives? Do they know why you need their annual gift? Programmatically, do your donors really know what you do? The real problem you solve. There's a lot of people giving kind of fluffy donations and I think I know what you do, right? And your need, do your donors know you need their money? Like seriously, do you have your financial plans in place in a nice graphic format where you can sit down and lead donors through investment level conversations? Donors are never going to give their best gift if one of these things is not clear. These are not fundraising shifts. These are not new event, new appeal, write it better, like a better board member. This is none of that. These are shifts of organizational clarity. And that is what investment level donors are dying to hear from you. These must be clear before your fundraising team can properly do their job. You have to fix it at the root. If not, your fundraising, anybody you hire is not going to be successful, or they're going to be less successful. And there's never been a time more in history that we cannot, that we must set our development teams, our fundraisers, our frontline people up for success. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'll keep you posted on this client. But if you enjoyed this episode, take a minute to share and like and subscribe by clicking the bell. And you'll get weekly content delivered to your inbox. If you are listening to this on an audio podcast, please leave an Apple review. Take a second to do that. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you next week.